Hello and a very warm welcome to Meghan and Harry News YouTube channel. We have some interesting gossip from Omid Scobie. Omid, of course, well known for being Meghan and Harry's biographer, who wrote the book Finding Freedom. He appeared on this morning ITV show, a show which has a history of having guests on who are very much part of the smear campaign against them, a campaign that is still continuing and ongoing for 4 years now. And once again, we can see that what you have been told by the toxic media is not what has been happening. As we can see here, Harry and Meghan's biographer Omid Scobie reveals couple had to wait for some time to get confirmation that they were welcome at the coronation. Oh, right, so surprise surprise, it turns out all the delays and waiting around to find out if Meghan and Harry were or were not going to the coronation, it wasn't down to Meghan and Harry, it was actually all down to the firm. It states, Omid Scobie has revealed that Prince Harry and Meghan had to wait for some time to get confirmation that they were 100% welcome at the coronation in London. He also stated that Harry had never questioned whether or not he would go. He was always going to go, but he wasn't sure if he would be invited. Speaking to Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield on This Morning, the journalist added there was never any question on whether he would want to come or not. It was a question at one point on whether he would be invited, I think. So the toxic tabloids and various media platforms led the public to think that Meghan and Harry were stalling and taking their time to reply to the royal family, but it seems it was the other way round. A bit like all the reports we hear about this subject, they are all the opposite of the truth. It continues, from what I understand, the Sussexes had to wait for some time to really get the confirmation whether they were 100% welcome at this event. Of course, this all follows the release of Spare. But for Harry, there was certainly no question about attending. Ultimately, he is fifth in line to the throne. He is a Councillor of State. There is a serious constitutional reason for him to be here, and he takes that very seriously, even though he's not a working member of the royal family. He added that the occasion would also be an emotional one for the Duke, insisting, as we have heard from him time and time again in his interviews, despite the pain that he has experienced from his own family, he still cares for them. So much can happen over time, and I don't think he would want to look back and regret not being there for that moment. Speaking about Harry's role in the coronation, Scobie acknowledged that he wouldn't have any official role except to be here. He said, unfortunately, there is nothing carved out in the ceremony for him, and I would imagine if Harry and Meghan were working royals still, and everything had worked out differently, there may have been some way for them to have been orchestrated into it, or at least to be visible on that big balcony. But obviously that's not the case, and people are wondering where Harry will be. Will he be with the civvies, or will he be with his family members? And if he is, what row will he be in? I think people will be watching to see that almost as a reflection of where he stands with his family today, but he gets no say in it. Scobie also revealed that Harry has spoken with Charles a few times since the release of the book Spare, but only over the phone. He said obviously this is the first time he sees his family face to face since the release of Spare, but I don't think people know there has been a somewhat irregular pattern of conversation between him and his father since the release of that book. Now, have they discussed the details and the points that he wanted to go into? From what I hear, no, but he has had contact with his dad. Now, I've not really been paying that much attention to what Omid Scobie has been saying, and he has always been supportive of Meghan and Harry as far as I can see, but I'm wondering, is this legit? Has he been given the go-ahead by Meghan and Harry to go to this TV show and say these things? Or is Omid now just another royal reporter who comes on television and says things, makes claims that he knows this or that, but is just stating the obvious? I'm not saying that's the case, but does Omid still work for Meghan and Harry? Was he given this information by them to talk on TV about this? Is this done with their permission? What do you guys think? Like I said, I've not been paying too much attention. Let me know in the comments what you think of Omid. Is he literally Meghan and Harry's spokesperson, or is he like many of the other royal reporters, just saying stuff and making out he knows things? Let me know your opinion in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.